Hey everyone, welcome back to Bacchus OSL. We are moving on to Group C here, which is Hwasin versus ZerO. Once again, watching the beautiful intro that we're gonna show it every time because it's just pretty cool, and it's got our favorite song by our favorite artist. Wait, no, okay. Anyways, we are going to be just to kind of once again explain that there are 4 different groups in the round of 16, 4 groups of 4. And every time they play, I guess, a set, this would be set 2, quote-unquote, they play 2 players against each other from each group. And there are 6 total sets, so that each player has played the other player. And then obviously the player with the most wins moves on to the semifinals, which is, of course, the round of 4. So that's kind of just a brief glimpse as to why we're kind of jumping around. Every time they play Group A, B, C, and D. We are now in Group C. So we have Hwasin on the left there, and ZerO on the right. ZerO looking like a junior high nerd, kind of. Holy World, which is a map that Steve and I just love.
Well, ZerO actually is pretty famous for his his build. I wouldn't call it a build, but for using Infested Terrans on this map against Cal, and actually beat Cal with that build.
Yep.
So
the first.
Yep. So ZerO is known for that, but he's also known for being a pretty good player. I don't particularly like him. I think that, well, I just think he's not well-rounded enough to make it farther in a Star League. So to be honest, I'd be rooting for Hwasin here. Not gonna lie, it's just my bias, just because I feel that if Hwasin makes it out of this group, he can make it farther, and I feel if ZerO makes it out of this group, he'll just get destroyed against somebody like Jaedong or somebody like that. Who, I mean, obviously anybody can get destroyed by Jaedong, but my point is Hwasin could take games off of S-class players, and I don't think ZerO really can as often. He's had his lucky streaks against Bisu or whoever, you know.
Well,
but
so the group of C is Bisu, Gogo, Hwasin, and ZerO. It should be noted that ZerO did beat Bisu in the MSL round of 32, the Lost Saga, so the last one. He is the one who sent Bisu home, but he's very sporadic like that, and as a general player, I think he's maybe 40% overall. He's not super good, he's not horrible, and he's also not near as experienced as Hwasin. So, you know, those are all things to consider as far as any game goes like this. I would definitely favor Hwasin as well, but we have been surprised in the past, although, I mean, if ZerO goes on to play Bisu, who knows, we could see a repeat of, you know, well, he is going to play Bisu, so we will know. This is
like awesome sign
Dude,
day, I think,
holy
at
crap.
the OSL.
See, this is what I like, pictures, because I can understand what's going on here. You know, Hydra getting owned. Hydraless.
Well, let me give you another reason why I like Hwasin, alright? It's not just that I hate ZerO, and I do hate him. And look at this barracks, proxy barracks. I don't know.
Kind of proxy.
Yeah, it's in the middle of the map, so it's probably too far
to
really
float over and scout
do much.
earlier.
But it looks like actually a drone scout coming out pretty early for ZerO, and he is heading towards the middle of the map. I don't know if he's going to scout there or not. Though probably not. It looks like he's just going to the position. So hasn't been scouted, but of course he is going to see the lack of barracks in Hwasin's. And I think that was that was just ARAX. I think he didn't build a supply depot before that. No, it looks like he built the barracks first, for what I can tell. So this is actually Hwasin trying to be aggressive, and is probably going to send Marines straight to ZerO. This could actually ending up in a bunker rush. We'll have to see.
Well, and ZerO did 12 pool, so he's not completely out of it. It's not as fast as the 9 pool. As long as he doesn't decide to put up a gas and take a seat and do nothing, I think ZerO can probably, he should be able to hold off a bunker rush, especially right now because he's going to be getting his lings out in, I don't know, about a minute or so. So we'll see what happens. That is probably what this is, right. I mean, usually when you see the forward racks, it is for a bunker rush, and it's now getting scouted. I believe he just scouted it there, and a lot of times the players will scout something and see it right on the edge of the screen and then move away. We are going to see the hatchery going up. Which is okay. You usually see an expansion.
A little surprised though that he hasn't canceled that expansion. It wouldn't surprise me if he did. And it looks like he's like always bringing out SCVs to try to stop. And this was the bunker rush I was talking about. Zorgs usually get the second expansion, so Hwasin is sending a bunch of SCVs to come out, be aggressive, and try to finish off that bunker. But it. ZerO backing off a little bit with his drones, not being too aggressive at trying to take that bunker down. He really needs to focus that bunker. He's not doing that. He looks like he's unsure of himself. If that bunker goes up, that hatchery is going to go down, and there's going to be a foothold. Bunker's up. These drones are going to get slaughtered here. I don't know what ZerO is doing. ZerO should be...
I think he's trying to distract, and he's trying to get the reinforcements. He's going to go out with his drones right now. The Lings aren't going to be able to do anything, and...
Now, the good thing is he can still cancel that hatchery, and I think that he probably should at this point, even though it would put him behind. Well, is that even ranging the hatchery? I'm not sure if it's ranging. Like you said, ZerO is trying to meet the reinforcements here, see if he can cut off Marines. But 2 Marines, he's going to have to micro really well. 1 Marine does get surrounded, so good job taking that Marine out. And Hwasin isn't using his SCVs. Okay, now he brings his SCVs out. That's what he needed to do in the first place to stop those drones. And Lings are out now. He needs to repair that bunker. If he can get to the bunker, 1 SCV repairing the bunker, but the bunker is going to go down with little help of the drones, and all the Marines go down. So ZerO,
that was great
really
micro.
Surprising me, keeping the hatchery up. And taking minimal losses. He did lose some drones, but otherwise that's going to set Hwasin back. You know, like I said, the 8 racks, you know, before the supply depot is kind of a rush. It is something you can recover from, but I think their economies I mean, his economy was hurt by this. I think they're going to be pretty even. We'll see what Hwasin does to follow up, but Hwasin does have a pretty healthy economy there. And wow, no drones in the main for ZerO, so maybe it hurt him a little more than I thought, actually. He did lose a lot of drones there.
I mean, he lost maybe probably 6 drones, which is huge for a game like this. Now, obviously, he did a very good job. The reason he won that is because he surrounded the bunker with his drones, and none of the SCVs, only 1 or 2 SCVs were able to repair it. So ZerO playing very, I mean, it was kind of sloppy, and then he recovered, and then he was able to bring it back, which I think is good. It looks like a sunken going to go up there, which I think is really smart, because obviously ZerO's not going to be able to make very many offensive units. He has those Lings still, but he's got to make some drones, man.
Hwasin's been kind of pushed into going into a mech build because his barracks was out floating around and he didn't have another barracks. That was probably his plan anyways. But if he can just get a factory down, he can get a vulture out. It looks like ZerO is trying to build something down there. It is going to be a Hydralist den, so probably going to actually build Hydras to predict, you know, if he thinks that the vultures are coming. But then meanwhile, Hwasin was at another barracks. It looks like, yep, Academy going up, so I think Hwasin is actually going to switch back to Medic Marines. Right. I didn't see if that was another barracks. Was that another barracks? Did you see it?
I didn't catch that. Well, I mean, we'll have to check back. They'll probably at least show his base again, hopefully. I'm wondering if ZerO... I'm wondering if he... I mean, I think it's obviously good to go to Hydralist, even if he had planned on going Mutalist before. You just can't. I mean, when you're down that far in economy, you can't continue with Mutalist. Oh, look at that. Canceling the supply depot and moving out there and killing Ling. All right, good times.
Yeah, for some reason I thought I saw a factory go down for Hwasin, but he hadn't had one at all, so it's just barracks, so he's going back to Medic Marine. And I think what I was going to say before I saw the 8 racks was that what I like about Hwasin is he's one of the players that actually has stuck with Medic Marine more. You know, as we had mentioned a lot before, mech is kind of the new thing for Terrans, but one thing I like about Hwasin is he does still stick with the M&M. He's really good with mech too, but he's stuck with M&M more than most players, I would say. And he's really good with it. He is really good against Zerg. He has been crushing Zergs his last 10 or so games, and his overall percentage against Zerg is 64%. So that's definitely his best matchup. So, I mean, ZerO is a pretty big deficit here. His economy was pretty hurt early on, and I'd be really surprised if ZerO can muster back a comeback. But, I mean, we've seen it happen. Hwasin still hasn't expanded, so, you know, that's a little different. Usually, if you're going to go Medic Marines, you would get a command center, second command center pretty quick. So he is just going 1 base right now. This is kind of old school, just 1 base versus 2 base. And now he is getting a factory up, probably to slowly work towards tanks and science vessels, obviously. And no production from the barracks there. So both players not really having a strong economy. This makes me think this game might go a little longer just because it's going to take a while for these economies to kick in. And ZerO does have Hydras right now, but I think his ultimate plan would be to go towards the Lurkers. And he does have the Spire. I don't know if he actually knows that Hwasin's committed to this Medic Marine or not, or if he might think that maybe the mech build is coming out, so I'm not sure if he's just covering all his bases. And they're showing that he can see, though, ZerO can see that Hwasin has not put his command center up yet, though, so that is going to give him some valuable information there.
Yeah, it was a really good Overlord placement by ZerO, very technically good. I'm surprised by the Spire. I would just assume he's just going to go Lurkers anyways, but you're right. If he doesn't know that Medic Marine is coming, which I guess he technically, well, he might. He did see them out there. I'm not sure if he saw the Medic yet. Actually, yeah, I think he did see the Medic with the Zerglings, then he ran away. So he does know Medic Marine is coming out, meaning that, yes, Lurkers are great, but so are Mutalists if he can get a pretty decent Mutalist harass there.
Yep, and he is saving up for Mutalists. You saw the Larva saving up there, and he's going to have probably 5 Mutas coming out. 5 or 6. So I don't think this is going to be very effective though, because well, it will be if Hwasin neglects to put any turrets down his main. He has an engineering bay, so I thought he was going to be good, but I don't see any turrets. So Hwasin does need to get turrets down, or he's going to be in trouble. Second expansion, well yeah, third mining base is going up for ZerO. There's the first mutas. Wow, we got to see Hwasin's base. Does he have turrets? That is the question. He has an engineering bay, but does he have turrets? Starport is up to build some race. Now he does have a good enough medic marine force where if he brings him back, he should be fine. But only one turret, and already going towards science vessels. So